Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
There's no greater feeling in the world than getting a massage. A lot of us think about it. Sometimes we don't act on it. A lot of us look forward to it every couple of weeks or whatever it might be. And there's a lot of us that have questions about it in terms of massage. What type should I get? Who should I get? We have an expert. I mean, she truly knows her stuff. Her name is Jael, and she's with Spa 1618. And it's great to have you back with us. How you doing, Jael?
I am so happy to be back. I'm doing good. I want to enjoy the weather, but you know what? This is actually fun, so I'm good. I'll have this.
Okay, so you're in the Georgia area, right?
Yeah.
What kind of weather you got today?
Definitely rainy. Definitely rainy. Like sit in the house, watch a movie, eat some junk food type rainy.
Yeah. Same thing in the New York area. It is, I don't know, 51 degrees, cloudy, rain coming. And this would be the day to have if you were in that area, Spa 1618 to come by and get your massage.
Yes, it would. It would be the perfect day to get a Swedish massage. You'll have hot stone massage going. That's actually really perfect for this weather too, considering it's still that combination between cold and warm weather. You have the winter leaving and the spring coming in. So yeah, this would be a definitely good time to you have the heating pad on the table, so you have that warmth already set. So if you're cool, you'd lay down and you're just nice and comfortable, and then you get the hot stones going, the aromatherapy going, and you're set.
I like the way you think. Let's talk about the hot stones, because I've had it done a number of times before. I think I know why it's a good idea. Just enlighten us. Give us some more information about that.
So hot stones have a multiple, activities for how it's used. One of the main things that hot stones are used for is for deeper muscle work, in the sense of if you have a person who comes in and they're really, really tight, they have dense muscle tissue, and they want deep tissue, but they don't want to hurt. And then if a therapist is thinking, you don't want to dig in a person, because the muscle, if it's already dense and tight, it'll reject the massage, causing more pain to the person. So what you want to do is you want to alleviate that first and foremost. So you start in with the lighter touch. That heat relaxes tension. If it was cold, if a person had aches and pains, you'd use ice. So you come in with the heat, the hot stones, you make sure that the temperature is warm enough for their body. You can touch it and hold it in your hands, but what you're holding, they can't necessarily handle. So it's like if I were working on you, I take a hot stone in my hand, I would heat my hand up and put my hand on your body first. I'm not going to touch you with the stone, because I want to heat your body up to the temperature of the stone. That way, when I add the stone in, it's relaxing.
Yep.
It doesn't quote unquote burn. You have to use certain words because you don't want to scare people. So I say, warm up my hands, or I'm not going to say hot stones. We say warm stones, or we say, we don't want to burn you. We don't want to, scold in this sense, because I've actually worked in a place where somebody did that and they took pictures and sent it back.
Wow.
Yeah. I was like cringing, like, oh my gosh, I hope they don't file a lawsuit against that person, because they were very careless.
Yep. I know you know your stuff. Like you've already thought this out, but I know what you're talking about, because I had stones on my back where they did not warm their hands first, and it's like, and then you're wondering, how hot is this?
Yeah.
You can't really tell. Is this hot enough to burn me, or do I just need to get used to it? So my question is, when you do the hot stones, should you be doing that shortly after you begin the entire massage in general?
You want to initiate the stones as soon as possible, because you want to get them warmed up. You want to warm up the tissue so that you don't have to do a whole lot of physical labor on their back. Those stones make work easier. It makes doing the deeper doing the deeper work, it makes it a lot easier, and it makes the process a lot faster.
Gotcha.
And that actually, settle into their body. Once you move on to another part of the body, you let the stones sit on their body. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Cover it up, let the heat rest into the muscle tissue, and then you come back to the area and it's easy.
So the places I've been to do it toward the end, and it almost doesn't make sense. Yes, but brings me to my other point. They're not licensed massage therapists. You are. So let's go down that road right now. It does make a difference, right?
It really does. It really does. Professionally speaking, you want to make sure that, especially if I'm going to work in a spa, can I call a name out? Is it okay?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So let's just use Massage Envy. I know
I knew you were gonna say that, but keep going.
It's like go to
Yeah, it's like the McDonald's. It's like the McDonald's of massage.
Yeah. So I digress because it's a whole lot. But I know their protocol, and normally they use 10 stones at the minimal. Like that's their base start off with 10 stones. So you'll literally have the person on the table. You'll do your compression touches first, and that's just to get the connection started between therapist and patient touch. From there, you tuck the sheet back, get them set, and you start to work. And then from there, you get stones and you're rubbing the stones in your hand, touch, warming your hands up and warming their body up, and then it goes. And literally a hot stone massage, full body, is literally that, a full body hot stone massage. So that means each part of the body is going to be touched with a hot stone.
Gotcha.
Now, some companies are adding sessions called mini hot stones. And that's just where you add a certain amount of stones to a certain portion of the body. So if you were to say, you know what, I've been having lower back issues, but I want hot stones. I feel like the hot stones will really help me out. And then they'll say, okay, we have a mini hot stone that we offer with your session. Okay, great. You're only going to have stones on that part of your body. That's it. So where you have gone to have them start at no, that is not cool.
Even in my brain, it did make sense. Like it's almost as if they're saving the best for last, but it's not really benefiting the massage. It's more of it's like the cherry on top. Let me just throw that in there, and whoa, that felt good. But all right, now you're done. What was the point?
My cherry on top is a scalp massage.
Now we're talking. Yeah, and we did talk last time about when the massage therapist gets on, when you're laying on your back and the hands get underneath the back of your neck and kind of like support it up. That's like magical. Yeah.
It's everything, especially when you get that full release and your head just starts to bobble back and you're like, oh, it feels so good. I love it.
So while I'm lying there, this is what goes through my mind with the hot stones. Except now, I mean, of course, I was thinking, why are we doing it at the end? But in terms of cleanliness, how do they clean the stones from the person before, just to make sure that, it's sanitary?
So there are a number of ways that we clean the stones. Considering the fact that you now have, I don't know if you've seen it, but there are two types of stones that are being used mainly in the spa world now. There's the Himalayan salt stones, and then there is the regular black river basalt stones. So with the black stones, you take those stones, you don't reuse them until after you clean them, of course. So you take those stones, you use either Dawn dish soap, or you'll have a disinfectant detergent or agent that you use, and you spray the stones down, and you spray them on both, you dry them, let them sit for a minute, dry them, flip them over, and you make sure you get the entire surface of the stone. And you don't put it in the same water. You put it in fresh water, fresh towel, fresh water, fresh container, unless they've been cleaned. With the Himalayan salt stones, you have, there's an actual spray because it's salt. If you wet them, of course, it's going to dissolve. So you spray, you let it sit for 30 seconds, wipe it off, flip it over, do the same thing. And then you actually have a heater specifically for the Himalayan salt stones. So that's how that works. It's not hard to clean the stones at all.
Yeah, I just wondered if it was you put them into a certain machine that does it. I didn't know. No.
Okay. Actually, you take them. It's like washing dishes.
Okay.
That's the simplest way to say it.
Yeah. Well, you said the Dawn dishwashing soap, and that's right there. Yeah.
Because it's a disinfectant, so you want to make sure that you're as clean as possible. You definitely want to use gloves. use a brush to help, because just because it's a stone, you've used either lotion or cream or, an oil. So you want to make sure you really get that stuff off and there's no residue left off. Because sometimes some people, everybody doesn't clean the same. So you have to go behind a person and make sure I can't use this on that person. That's not sanitary. So yeah.
Can we talk about reflexology? Because I know you do that. Yeah. And places that I've been, and I have to change it up. I wonder if they're actually hitting the actual pressure points. There's got to be so much learning involved in that to know on the foot what you're hitting and what it connects to.
So I like to tell people, protect your feet because you're walking on your life. It's a very true statement. If you were to pull up, I guess, a reflexology chart of the feet,
sure,
you're really walking on your life. So split the body in half. And this is, for those who are massage therapists, this is common knowledge. For those who don't know, if you cut the body in half, what's in your on the left foot, what's on the left side of the body is in the left foot. What's on the right side of the body is in the right foot. So if I'm working on the left foot and I say, you know what, my heart's been feeling kind of tight, there's a point in between. So if this was my foot, there's a point in between the big toe and the first toe, or the second toe. You literally press on that point and it will actually release pressure around your heart. Same as your heel. Your heel has your knee and your gluteal muscles, your gluteal attachments, your hamstring attachments. So if you were to go across that, sometimes people's heels feel really hard and really thick.
Yes.
And they have heel spurs. You kind of want to go in there and dig a little bit and hold, and then dig a little bit more. And it literally relaxes the hamstrings. It relaxes the glute muscles. It helps to, open your knees, get more flexibility, more range of motion, more fluid going. So yeah, reflexology, there are some people, when they're doing it right, you'll know the difference because it automatically starts to happen in your body. The reaction automatically happens.
So question on that, if we found a good chart, can we do it to ourselves?
Yes, of course.
Really?
Yeah, they have massage tools that you can actually personally buy that you can do it at home. Definitely.
Huh. Interesting. I look at those charts and I find it fascinating.
Yeah.
Maybe it's me, but I think that reflexology is underrated.
I agree with you.
And why isn't it done more? Why isn't it, more widespread? Why don't we talk more about it? I don't understand why. It's so cool.
Because society has become so used to the just Swedish deep tissue. Like there's so much more to the world of massage than just Swedish and deep tissue. Yes, the two play a big part in most modalities when it comes to massage, but they're not the only things. You can do reflexology during a Swedish massage, but most people don't know to ask for it. Most people, and a lot of therapists are actually doing it, but most people don't know that. They just see it. They feel like, oh, this is Swedish, this feels good. It's work. And they're like, oh my gosh, I never knew that was even there, or I never knew that could feel like that. Well, now you know. But the therapist doesn't always say, well, I just did this or I just did that. So the more you educate people when they come to you, the more they know. And then people like you will say, okay, well, I've had this done before, so I know this. You've had the basics, but there's more to that. And it's literally up to us as therapists to educate people like you who come to get massage on a regular basis, whether you just like it for the comfort or you actually need the work. The education is there and it's so necessary. And the more you know, the better your health is and the better you can live. The more, the happier you are as you live.
I have to tell you, I've never spoken to somebody who does massages, and I have some friends and I love them. They never go into the detail that you go into in the passion. You really know your stuff. You're really into it. And I love that. Like we're all learning about this. And what I usually do is if I go for a massage, let's say it's an hour, I'll say, all right, break it up. Let's do half up here, right? Neck, back, upper back. Give me the other half on my feet. I want to make sure I don't ignore the feet because it's just that's that's very relaxing. Just when somebody's, you know, and I don't need like the cucumber scrubs on my, shins or ankles or anything like that. I mean, that's all cool. Just the reflexology and all of that just makes like a huge difference.
So, like you, I met a guy. He would come in at Massage Envy. He was the weirdest person because he only came in for reflexology and he only wanted his ears, hands, and feet worked on.
Wow.
Amazing, right?
Yeah. This doesn't
But
hurt. I'm sorry. Find somebody that doesn't need this. I want to meet them. I want to know what they're doing.
Believe it or not, he was a basketball player. I'm not going to divulge his name, but he was a basketball player, and he would come in specifically just to get ears, hands, and feet done. It was the funniest thing.
I got it all figured out. JL, I got it all figured out. He's a basketball player. He knew he needed to do that because his feet are probably so big, it's going to take you an hour to do them anyway.
Well, hey, I do what I do because I love it and I make it work for the client.
Yeah, whatever they want. Yep.
If it takes 30 minutes per feet, that's what you're going to get.
Yeah. And you know what? The ear thing, I got you on that. That's one level below the scalp massage. Yep.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And you know what? I like to tie the two in, especially if the person's face down. You're literally going from scalp. Ears are right there in between. So you're going to bypass them going to the neck. You might as well work on them.
Yeah. It's all connected. Got to do them. Yeah.
Absolutely. So I'm going to ask you a question.
Sure.
When was the last time you had a massage?
I'm going to take a second here to give you an accurate answer. I am going to say that was 3 weeks ago.
Okay, I won't be mad at you.
And
that means you should be scheduling.
It was a professional, like it was with a massage therapist, like legit massage. Prior to that, it was probably another 3 weeks, a month-ish, with just some random foot place where, you kind of roll the dice and hope for the best.
Yeah. Me personally, it's important for every therapist to get a massage. However, if a massage therapist is like me, we're picky. We don't let everybody touch us because we don't trust you. And you have to know what you're doing. If we come to you and say, this is bothering us, we need you to know what to do. In your mind already, you're like, okay, well, if this is bothering you, this has probably happened, or I need to work here. Maybe they have this going on. Mm-hmm. So you already know what's going on. If I come to you and your mind isn't already going and you're just like, okay, don't touch me, because you're not going to do the right things. You're literally going to give me a Swedish massage and I'm going to be upset because I didn't ask to go to sleep. I'm asking for work.
Totally got you. And a lot of us don't even know what to ask for when we go, right? Even if it's a licensed massage therapist, I don't know what to say. I mean, the difference between a deep tissue. How do you make that decision? How about that? Like, all right, it's time. I feel like I want a massage. I want to treat myself. I got some pain here and there. How do you decide what to ask for?
The therapist, they guide you.
Okay.
You know your back hurts. You don't know what part, you don't know like what specific muscle is hurting. You just know your back hurts.
Yep.
So if you point to where the pain is, that tells me, okay, if your lower back hurts, these muscles are in your lower back. You have your QLs, which is your quadratus lumborum. You have your latissimus dorsi, which attaches on your sacrum and goes up to about, I believe, T7, and that's mid of your spine, mid back. And then you have your lateral obliques. So you have these muscles already, low back. That's where I'm going to work. And then I'm going to know what they're attached to, which is your hip, your ilium. So I'm going to focus in that area and figure out, okay, well, what's going on? And it might be due to your shoulders. Your shoulders could be off because your hips are off, and vice versa. So it's all connected, like you said, but me being the professional, I am here to educate you. And once you leave me, you can go somewhere else and say, well, this therapist said this. And then if that therapist agrees, then they're like, okay, yeah, you went to the right person. So now they know what to do to help you out furthermore. But if you go to somebody else and they're like, well, I don't know. Well, okay, well, I'll work on that because you said so. No, they don't know what they're talking about. Don't trust them. If
Interesting.
they're not talking to you, don't trust them, because they're not telling you along the way, this happened to you. They should know what happened to you 9 times out of 10 before you did, or before you do. Like, you can say, I experienced this, but they can tell you this is what happened. This is why that happened. Like, we're always saying, drink water.
Just going to bring that up. I was just going to say that. And
Drink water.
when somebody doesn't talk to you like the therapist, because they probably don't know what to say because they are not skilled, maybe they're not licensed. So the water thing, I always hear after your massage, you need to drink a lot of water.
Yes.
Why is that?
Well, the reason is because our bodies are made up of majority water, 80% if I'm not mistaken. So what happens is water flushes out. We urinate on a daily basis. When we urinate, we are urinating out toxins. So once you get a massage, you have those toxins flowing because they were once just settled. Now blood is flowing because of circulation. Now you also have that oxygen flowing. Now you have water flowing. And of course, water moves blood. So you have all of this going. You need that water to keep that blood flow fresh. You need to keep those toxins moving so that they can leave the body and so that you can feel healthier and lighter. It also, it lubricates your skin, lubricates your muscle tissue, your fascia. Water is literally the life of the body.
Totally agree with you. And we all don't drink enough.
Right. And we don't breathe properly either. A lot of people don't know that, and they don't get that. Like, I see people breathing all the time, and until I understood it, I was the same way. We're all shallow breathers. That means we're breathing from our chest, and we're breathing very short breaths, short, quick paced breaths. We're not taking time to actually inhale through our diaphragms and exhale. So when we inhale, we're supposed to literally swell up like a balloon. And then when we exhale, our chest cavity, and as well as our stomach, our abdomen, is supposed to collapse. It's supposed to go back down. That is proper breathing. When you breathe from your chest, people hyperventilate like that because they're not breathing properly. You have to have that complete amount of oxygen flowing through your body. Your muscles can heal themselves. Literally, if you stop to breathe, that pain will literally decrease just from breathing. The added benefit is the touch. That's it.
Amazing. And everything you're saying, I've heard along the way in pieces, but you're kind of taking it and tying it up in a big bow, and it's like, bam, right there in front of you. If you were to get a massage, but you don't drink water after, are you just doing yourself a disservice on the massage?
You are doing yourself a disservice all the way around. You are literally, for the massage sake, nothing's flowing. So it's going to settle itself somewhere or back to where it once was because you didn't get rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
The water helps to push it out. The water helps to revive what was just, depleted. If you don't drink the water, you're literally allowing your body to recycle all of those toxins, bacteria, all of that bad blood, all of those negative things in your body. Your body is recycling those things. So it's refiltering through, and nothing healthy is happening. You're feeding yourself negativity.
Yep.
And so with the water, it pushes. You still have that negative energy there. You still have all of the bad things that were there trying to get out. You still have it there. So drink water.
Yep. Jael Henderson is with spa1618.com. They're in Georgia. They can come to you. They can make you feel so much better. She knows her stuff. She is a by far licensed massage therapist. Quick question. We have a couple of minutes left. How do you decide between a chiropractor and a massage therapist?
Ooh, I just talked about this to a client yesterday. So I'll say it this way. Would you rather go to a chiropractor in pain and receive more pain because they have to adjust you? Or would you rather get a massage first, relax from the pain, and then go get an adjustment which actually hurts less and lasts longer? You decide.
Answer clear, answer crystal clear. And
first.
So if you're experiencing any kind of discomfort, it's better to do the massage first, kind of weed it out. let's see where we're at. See what we got going on. And then the chiropractor. Interesting.
Yes, because a lot of people have gone to the chiropractor and then come to me, and I'm like, usually when you get an adjustment, there's some inflammation there. I can't work that inflammation. I can move it, but I can't work you like you need it. You have to get rid of the inflammation first.
Gotcha.
Then the inflammation's gone. Then you come back to me. So that's a roundabout process. Come get a massage first, loosen up those muscles, relax them so that your bones can shift properly and they won't hurt. You won't have that gust of air that comes from those adjustments, that fluid that comes from those adjustments. It won't cause inflammation. It won't cause when the bones shift, the tendons won't be so rough or rigid. They won't ache. They won't, strain or stress. You don't have to go through that issue. It's literally easy peasy lemon squeezy. That's like the most way I can say that. There's no other way I could say that, and it's simplest form. It's just that simple.
I totally have it clear. And I'm thinking about, I have a friend who's a chiropractor, and he always says, if you need an adjustment, we do favors for each other. So he's like, if you need to come in and, I'll give you a quick adjustment. It literally lasts maybe 2 minutes, if that. They kind of do the same stuff, a quick head turn, maybe hit, see whatever in your back, trying to find, isolate a spot, and that's that. But even when they make those adjustments, sometimes you're like, whoa. And it would be less of a shock to your body if things were all limbered up from a massage previously.
But that's why you have more chiropractors hiring massage therapists, and they're literally doing like 20-minute to 30-minute massages because you're literally massaging what they just adjusted. You're not doing a full body. You're just massaging what they adjusted. Sometimes they'll tell you, go see the therapist first and then come see me. That's how they have their office set up. Or they'll say, well, come see me and then go see the massage therapist. I don't like the latter part of that. I get it, but I don't like it because you're kind of restricting the therapist from being able to do their job. Because 9 times out of 10, that person's going to leave, do exactly what it took to get them out of place in the first place, get them out of whack in the first place, and have to come right back. And I'm like, you don't want people to feel like, oh, you're only doing the bare minimum so that I can keep coming back. No, I don't want you to come back unless you want to, or unless you absolutely have to. That's the point. I work on you to get you where you need to be so that you don't have to keep coming back so much. There are too many humans in the world for me to have to depend on this set few amount of people. I don't like that. I want people to understand you come to get better so that you don't have to keep coming. That at that point, it's because I really need to relax, or I actually have an issue to where I have to go.
Yep. And to your point, the chiropractor that I mentioned, he does have other people in his building, in his practice that like you, that do that kind of, but I just go in there for a quick, adjustment. I'm out. We're out of time. I love talking with you. Tell everybody 1618. Let's run it down. Website, how you help people.
Yeah, spa1618.com. Check me out. My phone number is there. I am completely mobile, so I travel to you. All I ask is that you bring your own sheets. I bring everything else. You can call me, text me, or email me. All my information is there. You can check me out on Instagram. It's spa1618, all words, no spaces.
Gotcha. You are amazing. I've never met anybody so passionate, not only just about massage therapy, but just what you do. I'm like, you're completely on point. And I wish I was in Georgia.
I've traveled to Texas. I've traveled to Washington.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I travel.
That's fantastic. And I think we mentioned before, people have parties and can hire you as well.
Office parties, they have, home parties, they get away, they have girlfriend nights, you have like 5 or 6 women get together and have a girlfriend's night and they say, you know what, let's get a massage.
Sure. And as an employer, what a great thing to do for your employees. Hey, guess what? Friday's massage day. Everybody gets, 5 minutes, whatever it might be. Love it. Check it out. Spa1618, as in the numbers, 1618.com, spa1618.com. And Jael, great talking with you and looking forward to catching up again sometime soon.
Yeah. Take care.
Thank you. And drink water. People, drink water. You should. All right. We'll talk soon. Thanks a lot.
Bye.
And we'll be right back.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you can now listen live on the MyTuner Radio and online Radio Box apps for iOS, Android, and the Amazon App Store. Or check us out online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com or search Podcast Business News Network on onlineradiobox.com/US so you don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
Mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned.
This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.